Today we're going to go over function notation, which we've kind of already talked about, and evaluating functions, which is actually super easy because your calculator will do all of the work for you. So what is function notation? Function notation is a way a function is written. It is meant to be a precise way of giving information about a function without a rather lengthy written explanation. The most popular function notation is f of x, pronounced f of x. You need to know that. This is not the multiplication of f times x. So in algebra, you would usually think that this is f times x. This is not that. It is function notation. It is pronounced f of x. It does not mean f times x. It is the function's name. Does everybody understand? Okay, over here, this is explaining how function notation is read. F, this is the name of the function. The x, right here, if they put a number right there, that is what they're telling you to input into the function. And then everything over here is the output value. But if they give you a number right here, what are you supposed to do with it? Put it into this function to solve. Okay? So this is the input. This is the output. Traditionally, functions are referred to by single letter names, such as f, g, and h, so on. Any letter may be used to name a function. For example, this function's name is what? F. This one's G. This one's H. Notice they called this one H of B. It's the same thing as H of X. Okay, this is the input. This is the what? Output. S of T. So that's how you would pronounce those. The function's name is S. The input is the T, which is the X value. Okay? All right. This is the easiest thing ever. They want you to complete each function table based off the rule. So they're saying to get the function, take X and subtract 4. So what is negative 10 minus 4? Negative 14. What is negative 9 minus 4? Negative 13. What is negative 8 minus 4? Negative 12. Now, it is not hard to go do each of these individually. Do y'all agree? But there is a way that your calculator will do it for you all at one time. So that's what I'm going to show you right now. So right up here, write the directions. In your calculator, there's a button called y equals. We've already explored it this year once. And then do y'all know what these are called? They're tables. There's a button in your calculator called table. Okay? So you're going to go to y equals, you're going to put in the rule, and then you're going to hit second table, and it's going to fill out the table for you. So I'm going to show y'all. So get your calculators, turn them on. So for number 1, go to y equals. If anything's there, please clear out everything. It needs to be an empty table, an empty y equals. Okay, everybody there? You're going to type in the rule. What's the rule? X minus 4. So type in X minus 4. And y'all remember where the X button is, right? Right here? There we go with X. Okay. Do you see the word graph in the top right? Do you see above it in blue, what does it say? So to get to table, since it's blue, we hit second table. And there is a table of coordinates already filled out for this function. So all you have to do, and y'all go look at my screen real quick. If I arrow up, it will literally take me way up into the negatives. If I arrow down, it's going to take me way into the positives. You can literally keep going forever. Okay? Don't do it though, because whenever you put in the next one, you'll be like wherever you left off. So I'm looking for when X is negative 10. So everybody scroll and find when X is negative 10. Did y'all find it? What is Y? Negative 14. Is that what we said it was? When X is negative 9, Y is negative 13. When X is negative 8, Y is negative 12. When X is negative 7, Y is negative 11. And when X is 0, scroll to when X is 0, what is Y? Negative 4. So yes, a lot of these you can do in your head, but it's just so much faster to put it into y equals and let the function in the calculator do it. Okay, let's try the second one. So where am I going to go to put the rule in? Go to y equals, clear anything out. Okay, I'm going to type in 15 minus 6x. Okay, and then I'm going to go to second table. I am looking for when x is 0. So I scroll to when x is 0, which what is y? 15. When x is 1, y is 9. When x is 2, y is 3. When x is 3, y is negative 3. And when x is 6, so I got to scroll, y is negative 21. Super easy, yes? Okay, go to the third one. Where am I going to go? Y equals. I'm going to type in the function. How would I type this in? Negative 3 minus 2x. And then go to second table. I'm looking for when x is negative 6, so you have to scroll till you find it. Y is 9. Go ahead and fill that table out. Check your table with mine. Are we good? Okay, turn to the next page. Now, this says evaluate each function at the specified value. Is it asking you to fill out a table? No. So you have two options. You could still use your y equals button and type that function in, yes? And scroll to when x is and get the answer. But since I'm not filling out a whole table, it might be faster for me to just plug this in for x. It is totally up to you. So I would do 7 times 6 minus 5, which 7 times 6 is 42, and 42 minus 5 is 37. But if you're not good at stuff like that, or you feel like you would make a mistake, you could still go to your y equals button, type in the function 7x minus 5, go to the table, and look for when x is 6, and you will see that y is 37. So it works the same way of filling out a table to solve for one of those values. So it is totally up to you how you do it, okay? Now, if it says, write this up here because you're going to be confused in a minute. If it says x equals, then you plug in for x. Because in a minute, we're not going to plug in for x. So you need to know the difference. If it says x equals, you plug in for x. So let's do number 2. Do y'all want to use the y equals button, or do y'all just want to plug it in? If it was me, I would plug it in. If y'all do whatever you want to do. I would do 9 times negative 10 plus 3, because negative 90 plus 3 is negative 87. I can do them really fast. Now, if they were decimals and stuff, I'd probably use my y equals button. Okay, now look at the next one. This one looks a little bit different. It says evaluate each function, and we know evaluate means solve. It says the function is negative 8x minus 9. Find f of negative 3. If it looks like this, you're still plugging in for x. Okay, because f of x, they're telling you that's the x value. So you're just plugging in for x. So again, plug in for x. So you could use your y equals button again, or you could just plug in negative 3. So negative 8 times negative 3 minus 9. Well, negative 8 times negative 3 is 24, and 24 minus 9 is 15. Try the next one on your own. Did y'all all get negative 60? Okay, now look at the next one. It says if f of x equals 3 times negative 2x plus 7, find the following. F of negative 7, f of 11, f of 13, and f of negative 8. All they're asking you to do is plug in for x. Now, since I'm doing the same function, do you think it would be faster for me to use my y equals button? Yes, because I am trying to solve for multiple. It's basically filling out a table. So I would go to y equals. I would type this function in. So 3, open parentheses, negative 2x plus 7, close parentheses. Please don't forget to close them. Okay, then go to second table. I am looking for the value when x is negative 7. So I'm going to scroll to negative 7. What is the value of y? 63. I'm going to go ahead and do this one because it's close. So y'all see negative 8 over here? So I'm over there by it. So when x is negative 8, y is 69. Then I'm going to go to positive 11. So when x is 11, y is negative 45. When x is 13, y is negative 57. Super easy, yes? Okay, those are linear functions. What does linear mean? You should see the first 4 letters say what? Linear means straight line. So now we're going to go down and talk about quadratic functions. We're not going to learn this probably till after Christmas, but a quadratic function graphs a parabola. It's like a U. You don't even need to know that for this lesson. All you have to know is how to plug in for x. Okay? So if it says evaluate this function when x is negative 6, can I just go put this in y equals? So I'm going to go to y equals. I'm going to clear that out. And I'm going to type it in exactly how I see it. Bless you. So open parentheses, x minus 7, close parentheses, squared plus 4. Make sure when you hit squared that you come back down before you push the plus sign. Okay, everybody got it? So I'm going to go to the table, and I'm looking for when x is negative 6. And what is the value of y? 173. Okay, try this next one on your own. Okay, when x is 4, so I've got to scroll to 4. What is y? 73. Okay, so are there any questions on plugging in for x? When you're going to plug in for x is when it says x equals, or when it says find f of a number. Okay, now turn to the back. Sometimes instead of finding the value of the function at a given x value, you're going to be given the function's value. So write this down over here. If it says f of x equals, then you're actually plugging in for y. And when I say y, it means plug in for the function. Okay, so everybody look, it says let f of x equal 2x minus 3, so here's your function's rule, but it does not say when x equals 15, it says when f of x equals 15. So we're going to plug in this number for the function, for y. So y'all know how this would say y equals? You're going to plug it in over here. So you would say 15 equals 2x minus 3. So you would solve this as you would solve an equation. Could you solve this in y equals and put 15 in y1, 2x minus 3 in y2, and hit second trace, option 5, enter, enter, enter? Yes, but we're going to solve it by hand. So I would add 3. So I have 18 equals 2x, divide by 2, and x equals 9. And do y'all see how it said find x? Right here it said find x. That gives you a hint. You're not plugging in for x if they're telling you to find it. Right? All right, so the next one. Let f of x equals 3x plus 2. And then this is a typo. That should say if f of x equals 11, find x. So we're going to plug 11 in for the function, for the y spot. So 11 equals 3x plus 2. So I would subtract 2 on both sides. I would have 9 equals 3x, divide by 3, and x equals 3. I'm going to let you do the next one on your own. Did y'all get x equals 7? Okay, and then this last one. If h of x equals negative 2x minus 5, if h of x is negative 25, find x. So I'm plugging in for the function. So I would plus 5 on both sides. So I have negative 20 equals negative 2x. I would divide by negative 2 and get x equals 10. Now, the last part says translate the following statements into coordinate points. This is the easiest thing ever. Okay? So do y'all remember how it said in function notation f of x equals, and then what over here was the output, and the x was the what? Input. That means whatever number is here is the x value. Whatever number is over here is the what? Y value. It's that simple. So this would be a coordinate of negative 1, 1. That should say positive 1 right there. So again, whatever's here is the input, and the input is the x. Whatever's here is the output, which is the y. So what would this coordinate be? 2, 7. It is that easy. This would be 1, negative 1, and 5, negative 3. All right, we're not going to do the whole back side. We'll just do one of them. We're just going to look at functions as tables. So it says the function h of a represents the average height of boys that are a years old. Okay? So h of a represents the average height of boys that are a years old. So over here, this is representing the a. Use the table to evaluate the function at each value. So they didn't give you a function rule. They gave you a table to use to find the answers. It says, use the table to evaluate the function at each value. Explain what it means in terms of the problem. So find h of 7. What does this mean? They're looking for when x is 7. So go over to the x column, which is the a, find 7, and what is the answer? So what are they saying? When boys are 7 years old, they are typically 49 inches tall. Find h of 1.5. Well, what is 1.5 in terms of years? 18 months. So go to 18 months. What is the height? 34 inches. So at 1.5 years old, boys are typically 34 inches tall. What's h of 11? 57 inches. So when boys are 11 years old, they are typically 57 inches tall. And find h of 12.5. Well, here's 12, here's 13, so what would be between these two? 60. When boys are 12.5 years old, they are typically 60 inches. Okay? It says calculate the value of a that makes each equation true. Explain what each means in terms of the problem. If they say h of a equals 61, they're saying the output is 61. Yes? So go to the output column. Where is it over here? Right here. What would your answer be? 13. What does that mean? When boys are 61 inches tall, they are typically 13 years old. Okay, what is h of a when it's 36? So you would go over here to 36, and the answer is 2 years. What's h of a equals 53? 9 years. And h of a equals 45. Where would 45 be about what? 5 point something, maybe 3. It's really not 5.5 because it's not dead in the middle, but you can make it like a good guess. All right, are y'all ready for directions? On the front, you're going to do the evens. So circle 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. Everybody got the front. Flip to the next page. You're going to do the right side. So 2, 4, and then number 2. Make sure you're doing all of those. So part 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Right here. Yes? Okay, turn to the next page. You're going to do number 2. You're going to do part B right here. So circle it. And part C. So circle this one. On the back, you're going to do number 2 right here. So circle that one. You're going to do part B and part C. Make sure you're answering for part B these 2 questions. And then let me see if there's one I should help y'all with. Let me help y'all start letter C on that middle page where it says complete the function table. Yes, you'll do B and C on this page. So number 2, B and C. Okay, but I'm going to help y'all start letter C. So it's saying f of x goes here. So you're looking for what is the x value that's plugged in to get this number. So if this function, negative 7 times x, what was the x value if they got 35? Negative 5. Then if you got negative 5 here, you will plug it into this function to get this number. So what is negative 5 plus 3 times negative 5? Well, 3 times negative 5 is negative 15, plus negative 5 is negative 20. You'll also plug this into here. Yes? So what is 10 times negative 5? Negative 50 plus 11 is negative 39. They were different numbers. One's positive, one's negative. Okay, so in this row, you're going to have to figure out what was plugged into x here to get negative 5. Once you have that, that goes here. So what did they plug in to this function to get negative 5? 0. So 0 would go here, then you would plug 0 in for each of those functions. For this row, you're going to this one. You're going to have to figure out what did they plug in for x to get 71. Guys, you can make an equation and solve it. 71 equals 10x plus 11, and see what did they plug in for x. Put it here. Then you'll plug that in for these two functions. Okay?